Today's video is sponsored by Earth Breeze.
Hi flower friends, it's Nicole from Flower Hill Farm, and I wanted to give you guys a little bit of an update on what I've been dealing with this week. As you guys know, most of the country is dealing with below normal temperatures, and our temperatures aren't that bad, but we made a huge mistake this week, and thankfully it's not as bad as it could have been. So last year we had the heat on in here because we were actively renovating throughout the entire winter. So the heat was never really turned off here. Well, we found out something new. Okay, so this place is closed, we're closed, and I don't really have anything to keep alive here except for about a dozen houseplants. So I've been coming every few days, giving the houseplants a drink, and I've started to clean out the office area, the shop area, and I'm coming because I'm still getting orders of my greeting cards and my calendars. I still have orders coming in. So I'm coming here to work multiple days a week. So the other day, Tuesday morning, my daughter had her physical at the doctor's office, dropped her back off at school, which is right up the road here, and stopped in probably about 9:30 in the morning. And I'm walking in, la-ta-da, la-ta-da, and I glimpse through the double doors, ice, like an ice skating rink. And that night had dipped down to about 7 degrees, 7 to 10 degrees. It's hard to tell what it was actually inside here, but the outside temperatures were between 7 and 10 degrees Fahrenheit, which we had last year like a negative 28. So 7 to 10 degrees was not something even on my radar for causing a problem here at the nursery. Well, like I said, last year we had the heat on at least 40 degrees the entire winter. We turned the heat off this year because we're not actively renovating inside during the winter months because we're okay to open in the spring without renovations. Obviously, more work needs to be done, but it was unnecessary to keep the heat on to work through the winter months. Well, Brad and we made sure to turn the main water off and we drained everything. He used the air to blow out all of the irrigation. All the water pipes were off and empty. Or so we thought. It turns out that there was a separate water shutoff way down in the basement underneath the nursery for just the sink in the atrium. Oh my gosh. It's not even funny, guys. Just the sink was still on, and when it was 7 to 10 degrees outside, that's probably what it was inside that nursery too, with the plastic roof. And thankfully, the pipe didn't burst, but the hose end did, and it sprayed everything. Let me show you.
And now, more about the sponsor of today's video. It's Earth Breeze.
I live in a house with not one, but 4 furry creatures. And pet hair, it's serious business. And that's where Earth Breeze comes in.
More than 700 million laundry detergent jugs end up in landfills and oceans every single year. Earth Breeze takes the plastic out of doing laundry. The packaging is compact, biodegradable, and plastic-free. Their powerful eco sheets look like dryer sheets, but they're not. It's detergent that dissolves 100% in hot or cold water and can be used in any type of machine. It couldn't be easier. No measuring, just toss them in. Doing a small load? No problem. Just use half a sheet. I've been using these for months now, and my clothes have never been cleaner. With Earth Breeze, their flexible subscription plans can be adjusted, paused, or canceled at any time without penalty. For every pack sold, Earth Breeze donates 10 loads to charity. Go to earthbreeze.com/flowerhillfarm to get started with 40% off. That's earthbreeze.com/flowerhillfarm for 40% off your subscription. Thanks to Earth Breeze for keeping me smelling pretty and for sponsoring this video.
Okay, so here's what I noticed was this little ice skating rink here, and oh boy, okay. It's warming up in here, but it's still frozen, and when I came in here, water was actively spraying all over everything, and this is where it broke, was right here. It was spraying out of here, and it was spraying out of here. Oh my goodness. Look. Thankfully, none of the actual pipes froze because this hose bust off the end. So water kept going and going and going. But look how dangerous this is. There's electric right here. There are outlets right here. Look at the wall has got ice on it. Guess what's not frozen? Apparently this hand soap has alcohol or something in it so that it didn't freeze, but everything else is completely frozen solid all the way around. Look at this garbage bag. It's a bag of garbage. It's a solid block of ice. This could have been horrible. Thankfully, my dad was able to get here right away and he was able to shut off the power in here. He just had to turn the breakers off. So it looks a lot worse than it is because this is just water that was spraying all over the place. If you guys saw my Instagram post yesterday, a lot of you guys were like, what happened? Well, this is what happened. Look, this curtain is a solid block of ice. This is just a black curtain. Oh, yeah. Oh gosh. So this is going to warm up in here and it's going to be okay. But this was very scary. Coming in here and seeing everything covered in ice, at first I didn't know what was broken, what wasn't broken, and that's down in the basement. Like all the water is down there, but there's an actual shut off down in there. Whew. So actually Brad came and he unhooked. This was broken too. This was cracked. So this was attached here on the wall. My dad put this here so that the water wasn't spraying into the insulation. So it was just spraying everywhere else.
Thankfully, it doesn't appear that any of the pipes were actually damaged because the end of the hose was burst, really. But everything else in here, everything else is pretty okay. It looks empty in here right now, which is fine. The only thing on in here are the little fans, which blow the air into the roof of the place so that it maintains the bubble. And I cannot wait to get in here. I've got some exciting plants coming. I feel like things are just going to be better this year. Not that anything was wrong with last year, but I was learning as I was going last year. So I didn't take time to breathe. And I think I learned so much that the things that I'm going to be doing differently are going to make a huge impact, not only on time management, but also the health of the plants. I learned where to pinch, when to pinch things, things like that. And I know when not to start seeds and when to start seeds for the most part. I am still very much learning, but I feel much more confident entering into the 2024 season than I did the 2023 season. And I don't have all of that work, like building these tables and putting in the floor. All that's behind me. So I feel much more prepared entering this season than I did last year. Also, we know about the water shut off now. We didn't know about it before because we never had to shut the water off last year because the heat was constantly on in here. Whew, I miss it here. I do. Can't wait until the plants come in and I start to pot them up and I start the seeds, and I can't wait till I'm here every day. And the energy, it's just so positive and so beautiful here in the springtime. Hasn't gotten old yet. So that's what I've been dealing with this week. And the house next door, the basement. Been dealing with trying to keep that warm enough so those pipes don't freeze. We actually have some even colder temperatures coming this weekend. I don't know about you guys, but we're going negative this weekend. So Brad's actually going to shut the water off to the house because it's empty. It's my office. So we actually have a couple of electric heaters going in the basement next door so that those pipes don't freeze because the furnace isn't running. Remember you guys, my oil tank was bad. So we're just using electric heat over there. But in order to make sure that the pipes don't freeze, I had to go down there and turn on some heaters in the basement so that the pipes don't freeze. So far, so good. They've been running a couple days, but then Brad is coming either tonight or tomorrow night to drain the pipes so that we can just shut the water off completely so we don't have to worry about whether or not the pipes are going to freeze. These are all things that I didn't think of, buying a second property and having a whole second house to take care of. It's kind of wild. It is a learning process. I don't know the ins and the outs of that house yet. We haven't been in that property very long. This is our first winter without someone living there. So we're learning as we go. And we've got some heat tape on the pipes that are going out to the new greenhouse. We don't have to worry about those pipes freezing. And the majority of those pipes are 4 feet underground, so we won't have to worry about those pipes freezing. But where they come in and they actually enter into where the water is, that is above ground a little bit. So we do have the heat tape on those pipes so they won't freeze. So it's all a lot of work. It's a lot of work. And if I'm being 100% honest, I could not do this by myself. If I didn't have my husband and my family members to help me out here, there's no way that I could do this. Like something happens here and the first thing I do is I call my dad or I call my husband, and they know how to fix things. Not that I couldn't do it on my own. I just don't have the knowledge that they have when it comes to plumbing and pipes and electric. I mean, my dad's an electrician. That's what he does. He was like, step away from the breaker. I'm on my way. I'm like, okay, thank you. And I don't get a huge bill in the mail because it's my dad. And I know how lucky I am when it comes to that. All right. Well, I just wanted to give you guys a quick update. Another update that I'll be filming probably this weekend is the seeds that I started last week. I started some seeds and I have them in the basement for you. I also am having an issue, maybe not an issue, but I didn't like the way my dahlia tubers were looking. They were shriveling up, and I know exactly why that was happening, and I'll explain that to you guys in an upcoming video. So I actually have some dahlia tubers in my basement sprouting already, and that's intentional, and I'll tell you guys all about that in a video that I'll be filming coming up this weekend. Anyway, just wanted to give you guys some updates and fill you guys in on the ice drama mama that we have here going on at the nursery, but things are going to be okay. The water is now off. There is no permanent damage. I don't think the only thing that I'm going to have to replace out there is the end of that hose, which I love that green kinky hose. She's coily and kinky and she's great, but she busted. So we need to get a new end for that and probably another new feeder hose because that looks cracked as well. So all in all, probably $30 or $40 in damage when it could have been thousands of dollars in damage. So for that, I'm grateful. All right, guys, thanks for sticking around. We'll see you soon.
Okay, this is me going down to the basement to double check the pipes. There are some nasty, big old bugs down here, guys. They're dead, but oh God, look. Those are spider carcasses covered in grossness. Okay, I'm gonna need, oh God, yes, this is just stuff. Oh God. Okay, here's the first heater, which is plugged directly into the outlet, which is what I was told to do because this is the main water that comes into the house. It's giving off just a very low heat. Okay, and now this is where it's colder back here. Oh God. Oh, yes, it's scary. Okay, the heater's running. Feels warmer back here. I do have a little thermometer gauge to see what the temperature is down here so I can monitor from home. Here's the issue. Okay, here's the stone wall. Freezing. There's the water pipes. Look how close the water pipes are to this old 1850 something basement wall. Anyway, so that's what we have to keep warm so that that pipe doesn't freeze, which is why I had the heater right here going, and it's not wet, it just looks wet because it's a different kind of floor.